Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. Back here with Jeff, and as always, this is going to be very scatterbrained and not set up properly with a layout. Um, so Jeff has now helped me figure out that my keyboard does have a purple static profile, which is beautiful. It's much better than that cyan color. I'm not against the Tron look, but I don't really
Oh,
necessarily want it.
right.
I mean, I don't really think you can have RGB be like real subtle, but there's a difference between purple and like that cyan Tron look. There's just it's a big difference. This is obviously just my opinion, but um, one's less gaudy than the other. you
Right.
know like so besides my keyboard that I'm like absolutely ecstatic about, love it, what has been going on with you?
Oh my God, I'm playing too many games at the same time. I just got to chill out on that and pick a couple.
I saw I have seen you be playing Fallout New Vegas a ton. I lurked in one of your streams, like I watched the entire stream, never commented once. I think I'm pretty sure. I mean, if we're, hopefully this is not TMI, but I have a TV in my bathroom. Like, 'cause that's how much of a degenerate I am. And so, I literally, I was watching you on my phone, and then I was like, damn, I really need to take a shower. I just threw it up on the
was
TV.
was that the stream where I couldn't figure out why the Legion was attacking me even though they gave me a pass?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
figured that out.
Oh, you did.
Yep. It was because Boone was a member of my party and that just automatically get
Uh,
I had to send him back to Novak and go pick up a different companion. Everything was fine.
dude. So I know you've been playing New Vegas, but are you still playing the New Vegas or not New Vegas, but the Fallout inspired game as well? I think it's Atom RPG.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think I'm just going to chill out on all those. And Morrowind, I haven't played in a while. And frick, what else was I was playing a bunch of shit.
So are you just gonna stick to like New Vegas for right now and just finish
I
that
think
out?
I, I think I am, and then I can just
You just pick
because I
up.
guess got too much going on at once.
Well, because I know you're playing a ton of video games, and then has it gotten to the point now where you can do a whole bunch of work outside, or is it still just being that
Yeah,
hot?
it's yeah. I need a water run. I've got plenty of drinking water, but I need construction water.
Hey,
And we just the neighbor's truck broke down when they do the water hauling for me, so we got that fixed back up.
oh, but that was worrying.
Right?
Yeah. So did you have to order any parts for it, or was it a simple fix?
They had to order some parts, and then I fixed their turn signals for them.
Oh, that's
And it
important.
and it wasn't a turn signal switch. It was the power just wasn't getting up there.
Oh, like did you just have to replace a fuse?
No, checked the fuse for it on both. Checked the fuse. The power was getting to the fuse box. The fuse was good. Of course, you couldn't. It was hard. You couldn't trace the wire all the way back to the fuse box.
Hmm.
But hazard lights powers was running right next to it, so I just hacked into the hazard light power into the turn signal power
I mean, hey, it
and
works.
soldered it and taped it up real good. Didn't just twist it together.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if it works, it works. That's all that matters. You know.
I didn't think it was the switch anyway because the switch still felt good. It wasn't all sloppy.
Hmm.
And so when I took a multimeter to it and checked continuity, and it's like, yep, the switch is actually working. So,
Hmm.
but they had to take it was the what they call a shift tube
Hmm.
broke inside the steering column. So while they had the steering column apart, I fixed the turn signals for them.
Well, how old is the car or
Oh,
truck?
it's I'm 92 or something like that, and it's a big old 460 Ford.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah,
All
it's a
right.
truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a truck, a four-wheel drive 460.
That that's a hauling truck. That's a
Yeah,
hauling truck for
that
sure. Well, so So you've been working, dude. Shit. I just now thought about it. I was supposed to mow the yard today.
And I
Whoops.
just got a couple more 100 watts of solar panel. I traded a Toyota 4-wheel drive CV axle for them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so that
And I got
means
it.
what I'm hearing is that gaming will be continuing.
Yeah.
Good, good. Wait, so do you already have them hooked up, or are they for like
Nah,
backups?
I don't have them hooked up yet. I got to check their actual output. If they're 12-volt panels, I can add them to my other 12-volt charge controller. If they need a maximum power point charge controller, I'm going to have to get one.
Yeah.
And I might
Well,
just get. I can't remember. I got one. I got this kit. The last one I got's a kit,
hmm
and it didn't come with the heat sink. You have to add your own heat sink to it.
yeah.
But it's just like the board, and there's no case. It's just the board, and I got that. I still haven't hooked my 240-watt panel up to it yet,
Well,
but I got
so
to.
that right
So I
there,
might
is
have
that
to
a
get another
charge
one of the.
controller?
Yeah, it's a charge controller. It's a Make Sky Blue charge controller, but it's the kit form instead of buying it all pre-made. And it's like I can't remember how many amps it is. So,
I mean, you'll
but
have
it
to be
was
careful
cheap.
because
So yeah, I'll have to make a case for it or something. But it's pretty nice actually.
yeah, isn't that that's one of the 60 amp ones, right? I think it's a 60
I
amp.
I think it's a 30 amp, but
Oh,
like I
okay.
said, it was just a kit, and it don't have to it didn't come with the heat sink, so I got thermal pads
hmm
and I got it all put together, but I haven't hooked it up yet. And they accidentally put an extra board in the box.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's what's up. So you got two for the price of one. That's what's up.
But right, but it don't come with the display, although I do have another display from an Arduino kit. And it don't come with the control panel, but that's just push buttons. So I might actually have enough stuff to make another complete charge controller.
Dude, that's awesome. Talk about a backup on a backup, man. Like, well, because I mean, really, in all honesty, if something happens to the first board, just
Yeah,
slap everything over to the second board, and you're
right.
good to go. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So, dude, that's awesome. Wait, so, did you buy that or did you trade for it?
I bought that charge controller. It was
Okay.
like $35 or something.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't remember.
pretty good.
I
'Cause-
think it's a 30 amp, which is one. It's enough for the for a 12-volt system. It's enough for the panel I bought when I bought it.
the thing about that makes me nervous about uh 30 amp charge controllers, because I mean, like, Renogy sells one for, I think it's like $35. I'm pretty sure that's what they sell theirs for. Or no, I think that's their 15 amp one. I don't know. Their 30 amp one might be $30. Or $40. Who knows? I don't know. But they sell one, but 30 amps makes me a little nervous because, like, you go to like four solar panels, four 100-watt solar panels, and that's really get pushing it.
Yeah, but you could put two on one charge controller and two on another charge controller also.
Yeah, yeah. And that's much better because, dude, the price goes exponentially up when you want to go towards like 100 amps,
And I'm
something.
pretty sure the two extra panels match as far as wattage. I'm pretty sure I got to check for sure, but I'm pretty sure they matched the panels I got up there already. That's hooked to the cheap Chinese controller. And it's a 30 amp controller, and I've only seen it go up to 10 amps. So I got
Wait,
another.
with how many solar panels on it?
It's got two. They're supposed to be 100 watts. One of them's old,
Mm-hmm. Huh.
but
Okay, so it's only got two on it.
and
You
I should be able to add two more to it, no problem.
Yeah. Wait, so you've never seen it go over 10 amps?
No,
That's weird. I mean, are they cleaned?
yeah, but one of them's old, and the other one's kind of new.
Yeah, because I mean, they should. Like, I mean, the panel that I've tested it at, and it'll pull in like best case scenario, I've seen it pull in like 10 amps, but normally
Right.
it pulls in like 7.8, somewhere around there. And again, I'm talking in good sunlight, not cloudy day. But
Right.
um, yeah, because now, granted, that thing's new and it's pretty new.
And that's what it's for a cheap charge controller. It's pretty good. It tells you all the information, like how many amps are coming in
Well, I mean, that's really the thing. Charge controllers really
and
don't get
stuff.
expensive until you want to go like the 60 amp and above route. And also at that point too, like, why just use multiple cheaper charge? Like a 60 amp charge controller is going to set you back like $90. Just buy two for 60. Like,
I don't know, that Outback's pretty nice, but it's like over $300.
and that's my point. Like, they get real freaking expensive, and like,
Mhm.
and honestly, like a charge controller, again, as long as you're not doing the super cheap route, like they have fail safe, so it's not going to like, fuck anything up when it dies. It'll just die, and if it
Yeah.
dies, replacing it's only $30. If your
Right.
300 amp one die or $300 one dies, you're gonna be more inclined to go the more expensive route again because.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, also that thing should come with a warranty. Do you know how long it
Yeah.
lasts?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen one fucking die though.
Yeah. Well,
I have not seen one of those Outbacks die.
well, I have seen them die, but not because of actual hardware failure. Someone putting too much amperage through it, which even then they have fail safes to keep that from happening. But when you push 35 extra amps into one of those things, it really can't help you that much. Like,
No.
they're not built for torturing. Okay, like.
Right.
I mean, it's one of those things where it doesn't matter how many fail safes they put in there. They assume you are at least going to know something when hooking up your system. Like, and I mean, here's another thing we could talk about. How easy is it to set up a solar system?
Pretty easy, but you do have to pay attention to some things. Like my neighbor's set up over across the street. They got 2 panels hooked up to I'm not sure how many amps it is, but it could take 3 panels. And I don't know if you know about the maximum power point controllers. You hook the panels up in series
Mm-hmm.
for maximum voltage,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to pay attention to what the maximum voltage that can go into the charge controller. And it's different for if you're running a 12-volt system or a 24-volt system.
Mm-hmm.
So, like in their case right now, they could add an extra panel, but if they add the extra panel, it can handle the wattage, but the extra panel would put the voltage up
Mm-hmm.
higher than what it's supposed to come in. So then at that point, you'd have to hook the panels up in parallel to add that third panel, as opposed to series for 2 panels that are up there right now.
Yeah, so they're running a 24-volt system.
They're running a 12.
Wait, and yes, okay, never mind. So
And there's I'm just like rough numbers here. There's like 70 volts coming in right now from the panels, and another panel is going to put it up over 100. And for 12 volts, they want to keep it down to 90 on that charge controller.
Yeah.
So I'd have to change So even though it could handle a third panel, they still didn't have to change the wiring on the panels. Not just add. You can't just add another panel in series and not fry the controller.
And and that's one thing too. Do they?
Even though it could handle 3 panels.
Yeah.
Wattage wise and amps wise.
It's rewiring it where they're set up. Like, do they have it ran like through the house and everything itself?
Well, the part that would be hard about rewiring it is it's got those weatherproof connectors, and the positive and and it's set up. The weatherproof connectors are set up to be wired in series, so those would have to be chopped off and either changed or something.
And those, I believe they're called MC4 connectors.
And you want those weatherproof connectors outside.
You really want them. Like, I've never seen a more sturdy connection than one of those MC4 connectors. Like they're built so if it's hailing outside, your connectors will be fine. Like if anything else is gonna break, it's not gonna be those MC4 connectors. They're fine.
But yeah, they want to upgrade to a 24-volt system, but then they'd have to get a new inverter, and they got a pretty nice true sine.
Oh, dude, that's one thing that's where I'm putting my money on the next purchase is going to be a pure sine wave inverter. I
mean, it's a no frills. It's just an inverter. It don't have like all the features that the expensive ones have, but it's true sine, so it's pretty nice.
And that's really what you want. I mean, that's the feature that matters in them.
Right.
Like, the LCD screen can like go screw itself like that.
Right.
That's not going to do you anything. Or the thing that really gets me
on the charge controllers, though, you want that LCD screen.
Yes.
You want to see all that information.
Yes.
You don't want to cheap out too much on those, even if you're going cheap.
Yeah, I mean, even if you go the cheap route, it should come with at least some sort of display because you want to be able to keep an eye on your battery charge and everything.
The cheap ones just have like 3 LEDs that like blink or some bullshit.
Yeah, that's no.
Yeah, that's not.
You can't like you can't reasonably maintain your electric like system, your off-grid system with that little information. A blinking light's not going to tell you everything that you need to know.
Right.
But I will say, when it comes to the true sine wave inverters, what cracks me up is when you go the super expensive route, the feature that it's always there, like even sometimes like the one that I'm looking at, it's like a 4,000 watt 8,000 watt peak, which is way more than you need, way more, but it's at a reasonable price. It's only like a little bit over $100 more than the like 2,000 and 3,000 watt ones. So I'm gonna go with it. It's like a good Guyon or something like that. I don't know how to say it, but it's a very nice reviewed. People like it. People say it's reliable, but it comes with like 2 or 3 USB ports on it, and like 4 AC connectors. So I'm like, I don't. Why the USB? Like, I understand that like maybe someone has it set up in their van. And like that's where the USB comes. Well,
even in your house, it's nice to just charge your phone. Just plug into the USB and without the wall wart.
I understand that, but like let's say when you're done with your Earthship, what's the odds that you're going to charge? Like most likely you're going to charge your phone near you, and I have a feeling that you're not set up right next to all the solar stuff anyway.
Nope.
Exactly.
It's going to be in its own room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with the same room as the water system on opposite ends. It's like I don't want to make it sound like it's going to be on top of the water system, but
yeah, and like that's the thing. It's just you're not going to be right near it. I mean, I understand it's one of those things where like at that price point, like why not have it for the people who are going to use it, but. I don't know. It's one of those things where like I would feel better knowing that you just didn't spend the money there and just like the warranty's better, or like an extra year or something like that.
Now the really nice ones, you hook up a backup generator to them, and you start that generator, and that inverter will automatically switch off from the batteries and pass the generator power through. But those are you're talking.
That's like
over $1,000 for over $1,000 for those, but
and those are my argument against those is like, okay, like let's say you're setting up an off-grid system in the first place. You're probably going to have a generator already for different purposes. Like,
right.
So it's really not that complex to take, like whatever you've got plugged into the inverter and just plug an extension cord in. Like,
right.
For whatever circumstance where you're not using the off-grid at all, like, and you're just going to be using the generator.
Well, you're generally not going to run a big air compressor off of solar unless you go,
But the thing about that is, see, and again, this is just my argument against those so overpriced inverters. If you can't use it off solar in the first place, why ever have it plugged into the solar in the first place?
Right.
Like, just keep your generator around and plug into that. And like, let's be honest, if you're building an Earthship, you're gonna have a generator. Like, you're gonna have one. I mean, not you. It is not saying you have to have one, but most people are going to have a generator for power
I fried
tools.
mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh no, what happened to it?
Through a rod.
Oh shit.
So I haven't had it. And then I do have another one. A little cheap, one of those little cheapies, but it just fries stuff. Something's wrong with the regulation in it.
Damn, man, generators don't like you.
Well, cheap generators are,
Yeah.
they're junk.
Yeah. And I mean, the good ones are just so damn expensive, man. Like, you can't pick up a rock solid generator for $200, $300.
Oh, they're completely different. They're completely different generators. Those the cheap ones run at what, 3,200 RPM, and they just spin themselves to death. Where the expensive ones, they run at 1,800 RPM, so they're turning a lot slower, and that's a lot of what makes them live.
And I mean, my grandfather's got a gas power, well, obviously gas power, but anyway, a generator that he's had since, I'm pretty sure since he was like 30, and he's 70 years old, and it still runs fine.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he spent a lot of money on it when he bought it.
Yeah, those ones that run at 1,800 RPM instead of 3,200 RPM, they will last.
Now, so to get back to like off-grid, and Linuxy type stuff, how many people out there use Linux?
I've met a guy in town at the coffee shop that does.
Okay. But so like the people around you, because the reason I ask that is, so like when it comes to Linux, I'm going to assume most people that live completely off-grid don't have, a desk set up. Like
most of them don't. Most of them don't have a desktop, and my neighbor's laptop, it had Linux on it for a minute, and she actually liked it better than Windows.
The one battery life on it?
The battery, yeah, it needs a battery, so she just basically don't use it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I mean, if it doesn't need a
and
battery,
I think
then the battery life on Linux won't really matter.
and I just I think I just let her borrow a hard drive and try it for a little bit. And the one thing she's worried about, and we never did figure out, is she needs to be able to read MRIs, and Linux will do it, but it would take some figuring out what packages need to be installed.
Yeah, I have.
It needs to be able to read MRIs off of CDs.
Yeah, that one I have no idea. I'm sure there's software for that on Linux. I would have no idea about it or how to use it. That would be for damn sure.
But I do have some friends in Albuquerque. Well, they're not in Albuquerque; they're near Albuquerque. And when they get a new computer, they generally come up and have me throw Linux on it. They can't stand Windows.
Well, I mean, that's like the thing about it that makes me like question.
Actually, there is a guy about a mile away. I forgot about. He's been using Linux forever since before 2010. There is another guy out here that uses Linux.
Okay. The only thing that made me like question it would be I know Linux is not. You can't install Linux and do no setup and have it be as power efficient as something like Windows. I mean, the common misconception is that Linux can't be as power efficient as Windows. It can. It just requires some setup.
I did that once, and it bugged the hell out of me, and I just removed it all.
Oh, really?
When I touch my touchpad, I want it to work. I don't want the first touch of the touchpad to turn the touchpad on, and then I got to touch it again to actually use it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's like, screw this, ain't worth it. And the biggest thing you can do is just turn your screen brightness down.
That, and then there's also I mean, it depends on what you're using as to what's the best. TLP is generally pretty good.
But the last time I installed one of those, I just ended up turning most of those features off, and it's like, okay, never mind.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
really,
it works.
the good thing about TLP now is they have the power profiles, so you can now, because you're gaming on a laptop, it's probably not good to have TLP on there, like
Yeah,
just
that's what.
screw TLP. But
Uh-huh.
typically, what you're going to do with TLP is just set the. I mean, you can turn on the auto mode with TLP, but as far as I know, it's pretty shitty. It's best to just set your power profile in it, and you
Yeah, if
don't.
you're gaming,
Yeah,
if you're gaming, you don't want to keep your CPUs throttled and all that stuff.
exactly. Yeah. So, but I mean, if you're not doing something like gaming on your laptop, dude,
Oh yeah.
TLP is easy to set up, and you just choose the not the
Hmm.
performance mode, the power saving mode, and you're
Yeah.
off. Um, but I mean, it's weird though, because on desktop, like and stuff like that, you really don't need to do that stuff. But I I used to be of the mindset that for off grid setups, desktops like the one I've got here just aren't really feasible. But if we're being completely honest, I have got my eyes set on the next CPU upgrade that I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of because I've been using server graphic cards here recently. I've been using the NVIDIA K4000, which is one of their old Quadro cards. It's got 3 gigs of VRAM. It's a nice card. For gaming at 720p windowed, which is, yes, I have an ultra wide monitor, but I typically just play my games in a window while doing other stuff. Yes, I know that's not how you're supposed to game. You're supposed to be immersed in the game, but look, that's just how I like doing stuff. I'll load up like Nazi zombies and play zombies while watching a video or something. That's
Well,
what I do.
that was one of the main reasons I wanted until the prices went screwy, like an RX 580, because all these newfangled graphics card just the graphics card alone sucks up 300 watts. Go screw yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so right now I'm using the what is it? Fire Pro S7000 server card, which is really nice too. I really like it. But both of these cards
And
still. Yeah, go
and
ahead.
I doubt the 570 is any cheaper, because that's originally what I was looking at back in December, when you could still get a 580
Mm-hmm.
for under $200 or about $200, and the price difference between the 570 and the 580, there just wasn't no reason
Yeah.
to get the 570, because the price difference was like $15.
Mm-hmm. And so here's the thing on a 570 and 580, like yes, you'll be able to get higher FPS, but the power draw on those things is still a lot. Like it's not small. The 580 draws, I'm pretty sure 230 watts. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I can't remember, but it was nothing like these new ones.
Hold on, I just searched something random in Brave when I started up the stream, but I've got it here. So RX 580, if I can, TDP. Good lord, I can't type. Got a new keyboard, so what's the TDP on this thing? I am. How can. Oh, 185. Oh, that's not that bad.
That's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad. But what I want to do, because again, eventually I'm going to be going off grid. I'm going to keep my water cooling and everything because I fracking love this water cooler. I'll probably buy, like before I move out there, I'll buy a replacement model of this same water cooler. I'll just buy a brand new model of it because if it ever dies, I'll just replace it with another one. I've had this thing for over a year now, and it's just rock solid, and it cools too damn well. But what I want to get is the 5700G, 8-core, 16 threads, so the same amount of cores and threads as this processor here. Same clock, actually it's a better base clock speed, but we won't talk about that. But with the Vega 11 in it, and you can game at 1080p, like no problem, like medium settings, and any game. It was playing GTA 5 medium settings at 1080p at 70 FPS. So,
Yeah, that 3400G is good for 720p gaming, but you go bigger with it, and it's
and that 5700G, all of that is in a TDP of 65 watts.
that's still in 65 watts. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. That to me is like game over. That's what I want. And it'll cost me less than a graphics card will at this point. Even overpriced, it's going to be like
even overpriced.
Mm-hmm.
I paid like $100 too much for the 3400G, but compared to the price of a graphics card, woohoo!
Exactly. Like, I mean, one of those chips is going to set me back like $350, and like, if we're being honest, 2 years ago that was the price of a regular Intel chip. Like, if you wanted to go like i7, like, that's what you were going to pay anyway. So, like, to me, it's again, even overpriced as it is right now, it's a steal of a deal. Like, that will be my next upgrade.
Because I was considering getting a 6-core 12-thread and a graphics card, and then like when the prices went screwy, it's like never mind.
Yeah. Why? Like, just no. I'll pass. And yeah, dude, like the APU market now is just, it's too damn good. Like, even Intel is improving their graphics chips now. Right now we're really only seeing the performance increases on laptops, but then again, AMD is just wrecking Intel right now, so I have a feeling it'll be a while before Intel can come back with something APU market wise. But
I think what was the last time? Well, it's been going on for a while now, but before this round of AMD being on top, it was like the last time that happened was around 2000.
yeah,
and I'm not sure how long that lasted.
Me neither. I don't think it was that long either, because I don't think they were on top for very long. I think it was a few years, and then, I mean, more than a decade of Intel just dominating. See, like, here's the thing. Here's why I like AMD being on top, and it's not like the underdog scenario. Like, that's really not to me what it is. It's just Intel has gotten to the point where for over a decade, because they, in the entire time they were on top, like the entire time, they were price gouging their chips, and quite frankly, not innovating at all. Like, they kept marginally ahead of AMD to make them look bad, and with a minimal amount of extra work effort or the work put in. And now that AMD is on top, they're like, look, so like we sell our shit for like what it's actually worth, if not just cheap as hell. Like, let's be honest, like if you want to go a low end Athlon chip, you can go and get AMD's low end offerings for like $30. Like, it's ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, if you want a 2-core 4-thread from AMD, you're spending literally $35, and that's brand new chip. Like, come on now. Intel's lowest offerings, they're like, oh, you want a Celeron? We'll sell it to you for $70. Like, I really don't like Intel, and I'm just happy that AMD is on top. They do better stuff. I wish they weren't on top during the silicon shortage, where they literally just can't get their products out to people at a reasonable price. That'd be amazing.
No, nobody can.
Yeah, exactly. That's what worries the hell out of me about the Steam Deck. Even with them doing this like weird reservation thing, and like that's how you get a hold of your product, dude. There's still gonna be scalpers.
Are you hoping when they become available, people don't have the rest of the money to pay and you get moved up in queue?
That would be amazing. That'd be amazing. I'd be so happy for that. Like, let's be honest. If like 1/3 of the people just don't end up ordering it, and like I end up getting it in like January of next year, I'm down for that.
Right.
I'm down for that. So when it comes to the Steam Deck and everything, I know you've already got your laptop, desktop, but do you know of anyone around you who is going to be getting a Steam Deck?
I don't.
That's the thing. I don't know. Like, I don't know anyone random around me who's not going to be like who's ordering one. Like I have friends that are going to be like I have a buddy who's like screw the PS5. He's like it just screw it.
Yeah.
Because he's gotten to the same point that I am. Like the only thing that keeps Sony alive is their exclusives, and he was like, you know, they've gotten to the point now where the exclusives just aren't worth it in all reality. Like, and also you can just watch them on YouTube. Like you can just watch someone play through it and know whether or not you would have liked it. But there's also a thing he was like, man, I really do, like this was right before he bought it. He's like, I'm not sure if I should go through with it because, you know, like the PlayStation's going to have their VR set up and it's supposed to be really nice. And here was my argument to that. I'm like, okay, so they're going to increase the resolution. You already have a Quest 2. So do you have any problem with the Quest 2 right now? He's like, no, it's perfect. And I'm like, so does it matter? He's like, oh, well, fuck, no. Like, exactly. Doesn't matter how good their VR implementation is. Once you have the Steam Deck, plug that shit in there, you can play on low settings on your VR headset just fine.
Right.
I mean, you're not going to be able to play VR on a Steam Deck like high settings in anything at all, but it should have the VRAM capabilities to at least push through low settings. I mean, if the Android chip on the inside of that thing can push VR to it, your Steam Deck can push VR to it.
Right.
You won't be able to max out stuff, which in my opinion is fine because like the most that you're going to want to do with the Steam Deck VR wise is not much. Like, I mean, it's meant for portability and playing on the go, not really meant for playing your VR titles. I feel like that's a pretty given. But being able to take your, you know, little handy dandy Switch device with you and play some killer freaking desktop games, hell yeah, man. I'm all for that. I don't know how practical it's going to be.
Right. That's with like me. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be. I used to have 20/20 vision, and I just have to be wearing glasses all the time to look at the thing, to look at that tiny screen.
See, like I mean, since I already wear glasses, I'm not really worried about it.
Right.
But the thing about it is, it's like with the battery life it has, I'm probably not going to be playing it all the time on like road trips and stuff. Like I'll probably play it here and there, but like my thing though is like you get a battery pack for that thing, you know, a $30 battery pack, and you can plug that bitch up on an airplane and play it for the whole ride. It'll be fine. Like, I mean, now that's not saying like a 16-hour flight across the world, but you know, a good 8-hour flight, a decent battery pack, you'll be able to play that thing for hours on end.
Or if you're in a car, a cheap El Cheapo inverter costs less than $100, and
oh yeah, well I mean, dude, you get an El Cheapo when you get those
for
like
charge.
Get it like $30-$40 too.
I haven't looked at those in so long.
They're good though. Because my grandmother's got one in her van, so like when we go on family road trips with the whole family, we've got like one of those things. It's got an AC power port and like 4 USB ports on it. It's perfect. Especially when you got a car full of people who like want to play Sudoku and like Clash of Clans and shit. And there's just me there who plugs up my laptop into the damn thing and runs my laptop there. Like dude, the best road trip that I've ever had was we rode for I think it was like 6 hours. Yeah, because we had to go up. We picked up a family member, and then we went down to Georgia. And that entire road trip, I was playing. What was it? Crap! It's the Chivalry. It's like a medieval warfare game, and I was just playing that like hooked up because like I plugged up my phone to get internet connection, and now when you plug up your phone to your computer or hook it up through a hotspot. We all know how the hotspot works. You're not getting rock solid internet. Like
Nah.
you couldn't hope to download a movie off that connection. But what you can do is you can get decent enough ping to play a video game. That's what you can do. And so for that entire drive, I was playing Chivalry like multiple times. Like I had to like position my laptop in a way so I wouldn't get like sick on the road. Like, you know, like looking down, hunched over.
Looking down, reading, you get like, all of a sudden you're like, I don't feel so good.
Especially, I don't know how the roads are out there, but dude, out here, like in Tennessee, we got every fucking road is some tiny, like twisted roundabout, like road, dude. Like after 15 minutes of driving in the backcountry around here, man, you'll get so sick.
Yeah.
Like my sister's car, like she'll get car sick while looking out the front window. Like,
Jesus.
It's so windy out here.
I just can't read in a car because of all that. Yeah, just like never mind.
I mean, it's honestly not for me. I never really have that big of a problem with it unless we're inside of my own state. Like out here, the back roads are so bad. I mean, I've had a better time driving up. Now this is
maybe if you're on a freeway and it's actually straight and smooth,
you're fine.
That don't happen here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we do have a lot of the interstates out here are, you know, they're straight and stuff. But the problem with the interstate thing is like, a lot of the times, like let's say I want to go and pick up someone like an hour away from here. It's most likely going to be faster for me to just take the back roads there than it is to take a main road, hit an interstate, and then go the interstate way and hit them.
And then get back to the back roads to get to your friend's house.
Exactly, yeah. And also the real big problem is for whoever's driving, like especially when it comes to shit like that, because it is technically faster to take the back roads, it also feels faster because you're not you're actually making turns and stuff. You're seeing your progress. So for the person driving, like they normally want to take it. So like when you want to read or something in the car, it has to be, for us, it has to be like an out of state trip where you're just going to hit the interstate and take it all the way. But again, the use case for a Steam Deck for me is not that big, and I'm still not positive that I'm going to actually end up buying it, which is probably why I will end up buying it, because I know so many other people have the same mindset that I have. Like they've spent the $5 on the reservation, and I mean you get it back if you don't order it. So. You know, if you've already put a reservation in and you're like me where you've got a gaming laptop that works perfectly fine, do you need the Steam Deck? Because I mean, like in all honesty, I could just buy an AC battery pack for my laptop.
It'd be tons of fun to tinker with.
Yes, and that's I really want to get one.
If I thought I'd have the money, I would have reserved one.
Mm-hmm. I mean. It seems so nice, but also I don't really know that I'm going to end up using it as much as I think I'm going to end up using it. Because the only way I'll end up using it the way that I think I'm going to end up using it is if I just get rid of this desktop, and I really don't want to. This thing packs a freaking punch. I mean, I've got 32 gigs of RAM in this bad boy. If I run a NeoFetch right now. Okay, with me having browser windows open, recording, Discord, all that shiznit, I'm using up 2.5 gigs of RAM. I don't need the 32 gigs of RAM. Like, I don't even have a swap file on this, but wait, do I? I will laugh if I have a swap file on here. I do. I got a 32 gigabyte swap file. That's fucking ridiculous. Like, I need that. Okay. I don't know why I set that up.
Because
I can sleep.
Because if you run some application that all of a sudden has a memory hole that you don't know about, it's going to need that swap file.
Yeah.
It's, some software gets some bug in it.
Or you just
and it does happen.
Chrome.
Yeah.
That's when a swap file comes in handy. So, I do have a question for you. Just a sort of a peer pressuring type question here, okay?
Oh boy.
So, tiling window managers, you given any more time, thought into those?
Nope. Nope.
Oh, come on now. Why are you not considering one?
I'm just old and set in my ways, I guess.
I mean, that's a fair argument. That is a fair argument. But I will say one thing. Using a tiling window manager has forced me to do some really creative things and has really changed the way I use my computer. Like,
Right.
I don't have, so like for me, on my ultrawide here, I have no bar, no panel, no buttons, no nothing. Like if I load up into my computer, literally here's exactly what happens. My wallpaper pops up and I get a notification from my handy dandy "You're a bitch" script that I wrote that just shoots me it'll determine a random time, and then for that random time interval, it'll shoot me a notification with it's like a cow with a sodomized flag. So it's just a dude standing behind a cow, and it'll give me an insult in the notification bubble. It's one of those dumb things that like I just did, and it's just to give me a laugh when I'm at the computer bored as hell, and I'm just distracted off in La La Land. A nice little notification, keep that ego in check. It's real nice. But I just have the wallpaper, so like I have to press the key binding to get D menu to open up any program. If I want to change my wallpaper, I have a key binding mod shift W, which brings up D menu, but with a list of all the available wallpapers in my wallpapers folder. I've created my own little music player now, which is nice. Calling it a music player is really generous. It's just a script called MSC player, and it like when you launch it, it'll give you a little D menu with a whole bunch of different options. It'll list out your music folder, so you give it whatever folder you want. I'll probably make it a little bit more elaborate where I can create like playlists and stuff like that with it. That'll be cool. But anyway, like you just select your song and it starts playing with MPV in the background, and so you can. I'm working on it right now to make it to where you can just like if you want to kill the song, you can just load up the program again and it'll detect that it's already running and kill it. But yeah, I've started making my own little music player, which is nice and nifty. Yeah, and all in all, I really freaking liked it. Tiling window managing, man, it is where it is at. But here's the real question: have you been doing any theming with your desktop environment lately?
Well, it's pretty much the same. It was. Let's see here. Let me show you what I got on here.
Oh, I didn't even think I could have shared my screen
Can
the
I
entire time.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
No, I want to change the screen, not just Discord. How do I do this?
There should be an option for screens.
Oh, there it is. Entire screen. That's it. So.
All right, let's see this.
So let's minimize. And now I can't see. Can you see that? What? Minimize that. So there's that.
All right.
And this pink dinosaur is Firefox. And yeah, I got the heart with the whiskers for the start menu, and then you got the. I got it all animate out, and then it's not just any standard dark theme. Let's see here. Why didn't that pop up? There we go. So, yeah, because it was hard to find it was kind of hard to find a good dark pink theme to go with the Moe pink icons.
Wait, hold on. That disk usage, you've used 248 out of 284 gigs?
204 gigs.
Oh, out of 248. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to get some stuff off of here.
No, man, you just need to keep filling it up, brother.
But I like the way it looks.
Yeah. I mean, that's
So,
not how I would like my desktop, but I respect it.
but how hard would that be to do on Windows?
Oh, this? Oh, dude, well, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard. You just have 50
The
viruses.
Well, I mean the wallpaper would be fine, but other than that,
I mean, again, you could get it done. You could install enough programs to get that done. The problem is how many viruses would you have? And you'd have a lot.
so anyway, let's see how we shut this off now.
You press the big green share screen button again, or bring your mouse over.
There we go.
Oh,
Got it.
oh, that works too. I've always just done the big buttons in the middle. That's how I do everything because I need big dumb icons. That's what I need.
Yeah, that background, it did have a white background, and I went and changed that in GIMP to black because that was just.
Yeah, no. We can't have light themes in here. No.
But one of the guitarists for that band drew that.
Oh,
She
really?
actually did it on a live stream, but it was just a black and white drawing, and then some other artist colored it in and added the.
Dude, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's see, like that's the thing. None of my wallpapers have a story like that behind them. They're just like, I got this off Reddit.
No, I think I watched Hazuki draw that for a little bit on a live stream. I can't remember how long ago that was, and it was black and white, and all of a sudden it showed up all colorized, and it was some other artist that grabbed her art
Mm-hmm.
and colorized it all.
Dude,
And then I took it, and it's
people
like,
are
okay,
awesome. Can we
let's get
just-
let's get rid of this white background.
Like the one thing that the internet has given us that is amazing is collaboration. Like
I'm actually listening to one of their live streams on low in the background right now.
if I wasn't recording the desktop audio, you better believe I would be listening to ASMR. Like the thing that I've been doing here recently in a few of my live streams is just been playing ASMR in the background of the live stream. And like it's been an inside joke with the people who are in the live stream when I start doing it. I'm like, look, anybody who pops in after this is gonna be like, do I hear whispering in the background? Is it, yeah, yes you do. But well, all right. Well, is there anything else that you've been up to in Linux this week?
I've been the past couple weeks I've been rethinking custom trackball suspensions.
Mm-hmm.
Because the silicon nitride balls or synthetic rubies are great for a mouse.
Mm-hmm.
The ball rolls just fine, no problem. Glides, no problem. But on something like a main machine, where you're going to play something like Golden Tee, and you like want to spin the heck out of that ball, and the ball keeps spinning, it don't cut it for that.
Yeah. I mean,
So I'm thinking.
I think you're gonna need something more smooth for that.
So you're looking at an actual arcade machine trackball type suspension, which is rollers with ball bearings on each end. But boy, it's expensive.
Oh, really?
Because you need three rollers and six ball bearings for the ends of each roller.
Mm-hmm.
And so like
How much is that gonna set you back?
the replacement rollers for replacement rollers and bearings for a 2 1/4 inch run between $45 to $60 or somewhere around there, around $50 just for the rollers and bearings.
Yeah, I was about to say that's not too bad, but then when you think about it, it's like it's for a trackball, like essentially for like, I mean, if you think about it, it's gonna be like something like a mouse. And
Right. So if you're putting a main machine together, yeah, it's worth it. But if it's just a mouse, the silicon nitride balls are more than adequate.
Well, are you going to be spending the money on it? That's the real question.
Well, I do want to get a Raspberry Pi 4 and not make a full, not necessarily make a full stand-up arcade machine, but I do want to make a controller box, with the actual arcade joystick,
Mm-hmm.
and for like 2 players
Hold
with the
on.
trackball in the middle.
You won't
And
be able to see this, but
the actual Japanese Sanwa joysticks aren't that expensive, and
yeah, you won't be
so
able to
that's
see this,
reasonable.
but people in the stream will. And I'm looking to see. Okay, I was gonna see how much it would cost me to get you one of these for like a Christmas gift and just have it show up. It's fucking expensive, dog.
What are you looking at?
Some arcade.
Oh, an
machine.
actual. And the thing is, on a lot of these what they call arcade machine 2.25-inch trackballs, most of them are not. They don't have the actual. There's like 2 of them that have the actual arcade machine suspensions, and it's basically the you got to basically for the 2 I think it's 2.25 inch because the gold like Golden Tee and that would be a 3 inch, and the 3 inch ones that they market as arcade trackballs are actually arcade trackballs, but the most of the 2.25 inch are actually just 2 inch mice that don't have the roller bearings, unless it's like a Atari Centipede trackball or something like that. Because I was looking into that, and it's like most of them aren't really. Most of the ones that are sold as arcade balls aren't really arcade balls.
Okay, so for me to get you a 4-player upright arcade machine with 4,708 games, in one 32-inch monitor with trackballs, it's going to cost me just $3,700.
Oh, is that all? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just build my own.
Yeah.
And then I want to put but I don't want. I just want to make the big box, but not the whole. Just the controller. Just that could, if you could, you could build an arcade cabinet and attach it to it. But I just want to do it 2 players, and if plug more and have USB ports on it to plug more, and put the Raspberry Pi right inside the box. All the stuff's in, so you just plug it to a TV and sit down. But you have actual arcade.
Yeah. Okay, so wait, hold on. Yo. Okay. What would you want as your arcade cabinet? We're talking. We got Mortal Kombat here, Marvel Superheroes, Pac-Man Gala Games, Miss Pac-Man.
Are these the arcade 1-ups?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want one.
Oh, damn it! Why
They're
not?
they're tiny compared to a real arcade machine.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, they look like desktop size.
They're like the Cabaret. They're the size of a Cabaret arcade machine. They're not full size arcade machines. I'd rather just make a main machine with a Raspberry Pi.
Man.
Run RetroArch or not RetroPie on a Raspberry Pi, and just build it. And then if I decided I wanted to,
well,
and
I can get you a full size cabinet, brother.
But I think and just have it plug into a TV. And if I wanted to build a cabinet later, fine.
Yo, your boy's definitely getting you an arcade machine for Christmas.
But
that's what's happening.
But if I want, but the next an actual real Panther XL and not just some crap that I hot glued and melted together with junk just to see if I could just to see if I could code it. The Hall Effect joystick I want's like $80 just for the joystick.
All right. So do you like Outrun at all?
Oh boy, steering wheels are expensive. Yeah.
Not too expensive for your boy here, all right? Like, look, I have sent you a laptop, so I do treat you right, okay? And I think I might be sending
But
you an arcade cabinet.
for me, a lot of the fun is doing it yourself too, though.
Oh, we'll take it apart, brother. I don't care. I'm sending it to you, man. You do. Okay. Yeah, that's a good size. All right. Yeah. I'm sending you for dude. Oh my god, I gotta bookmark this. This is getting
And there's
sick.
the power issue too, where it's like
Oh
a
shit.
Raspberry Pi 4. See, there's
Yeah, I didn't even think about that because I am sure this thing uses up the fuck out of
right.
power. Let's see. Do they say?
With a Raspberry Pi 4, you can pretty much ignore that power usage and just how much does the monitor or TV you got hooked up to it draw on.
Well, it plugs into an AC outlet, but it doesn't tell me anything about its.
But
Okay.
when I did make the controller cabinet, I did want to make it so that if I could wanted to make a full size cabinet later, it'd just bolt right to it and look like it was
Yeah.
made to be like that.
Well, I am sure that with what I sent you here, if it uses up too much power, you could exchange out the internals for a Raspberry Pi.
Right.
I'm sure. Yeah, because I can definitely get you this. I mean, it's gonna set me back a little bit more than my Steam Deck or Stream Deck would, but dude, for a dope ass cabinet that I'm definitely gonna be seeing videos of later, I expect.
I mean, don't get me wrong; those arcade one-ups are nice, but compared to an actual full-size arcade machine, they're little.
Yep. Well, not the one I'll be sending you. Don't worry about that. I mean, it might be. I'll. No, I mean it should be fine. I don't know. It should be big enough for you. Let me see.
But if I wanted to make another Panther XL clone, just not as an experiment, but like for real, holy cow! Like I said, just the joystick's $80 for the Hall Effect joystick with a Hall Effect sensor. And that means there's a magnet on the bottom of the stick, and it reads the magnetic field, so there's no moving parts or potentiometers to wear out.
Oh, dude, that's
with
cool.
Yeah, and then you probably get like a Tron reproduction grip to stick on it to cut holes in and add buttons to, and that's probably not cheap either. I can't remember. I know they make them, the reproduction Tron grips, and it's just.
I've never been so excited to buy someone something for Christmas. See, like, this is what I like about like getting Christmas gifts for friends compared to family. Like with family, like especially in my family, like there's only one other dude in my family I buy Christmas
But
gifts for.
That's the problem. After seeing it, I can get the replacement roller bearings for an arcade trackball. It's like, man, I don't want to use the silicone bearing unless if I'm making a game controller. If I'm just making a mouse, yeah, the silicon nitride bearings. But if I'm making a game controller, I want
that real control.
I want that thing that'll keep spinning after you roll it.
Well, all right. This has been eventful. I now know what I'm getting you for Christmas. That's happening.
So.
Unless you watch us back, you're like, no, I don't want that. But oh yeah, and if anyone's watching, I totally forgot. I also do put this out in audio. If you're listening to this in audio, you can't see what I'm looking at, but neither can Jeff, so it's okay.
They make they supposedly will sell the Star Wars controller all by itself, but you go to their website and try to buy it, and it's like you got to email them or something. It's like not really available.
Yeah, no, I don't ever reach out like that. Like, I mean, if I can't buy it straight from your site, like, yeah, it's not happening. Because there was one
And
thing
it
I
was
was
like,
looking at, like,
and so at that point, it's like, well, if I wanted to do that, I guess I'd have to make that also because you make it too hard to order
mhm.
unless you buy the whole cabinet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because there was one, it was like a mocap thing, and it was like an affordable mocap stuff, but you had to reach out to be able to order it. I'm like, no, no. If I can't just buy it from your site, you're not really trying to sell it. It's all good.
Right.
Um, all right. I think that's going to be it for the podcast. Thank you guys for listening in. Thank you, Jeff, for being here and for talking with me because it's been awesome. And if any of you guys want to check either of us out, obviously, if you're watching this on my web or listening to this on my website, go over to YouTube, and once you're over there, you can check out my channel, and Jeff's will be in the description as well. Go check him out. Low Spec Linux Laptop. He streams some fantastic games. You'll definitely want to be over there. But I think that's going to be it for us. See ya.
All right. Bye bye.